Welcome back to Essick Farms. Yesterday we went and picked up our Cornish cross meat birds. It's something I've been wanting to do for a little while to get some meat birds on the farm. We do have chickens on the farm, but they're laying hens and they're pretty young. They're still laying really good. Typically we do butcher our laying hens once they get older and they quit laying, but you still won't get as much meat off of a laying hen chicken as you would a meat bird. So I did look into this a little bit, and I think that Cornish cross chickens are a good way to go. This will be the first time I've raised meat chickens, so I looked into that, and I think that's going to be a really good way to go. A couple things about them: they are very fast growing. Within 3 to 4 months, they should weigh around 8 pounds, maybe a little bit more, depending on how you feed them, how much you feed them, and all. But they could weigh around 8 pounds, which could yield around 6 pounds of meat. They don't take up a whole lot of room. I built a chicken tractor that you're going to see here in a second, and it could probably hold 25 birds or so. The one thing I am going to do is put a free feeder in there. I'm going to let them have plenty of feed all the time, whatever they want to eat. I think that will help them grow a lot faster too, which I'm not really concerned about getting them growing really fast or anything. I just want some good healthy birds. So here's our chicks. Right now I got them in this tote. I put sand on the bottom down there. That's good for them to scratch in and stuff. If you do that though, once they get a little older, it will make a mess because it'll cause a lot of dust. But right now they're fine. Got the water with the rocks in it. Do that so none of them will drown. And got the feeder with plenty of feed in it. So these came from Meyer Hatchery out of Ohio. Really pleased with them. We ordered 25 chickens and they gave us 28. I guess in case we lost a couple, but thank goodness we haven't lost any. They are all fine. And when I took them out of the box and put them in here, they were running around and pecking and went straight to the water and straight to the feed. So I feel like they're pretty healthy birds. So really happy with that company. Also had a light bulb in here that will keep them warm. You do want your little chicks to stay warm. If you see them like huddling up, that means they're too cold. You can lower the light bulb a little bit, or do like I did and put the towel over it, which will hold in the heat. But you don't want to cover the whole thing up. You still want a little bit of heat come out because you don't want to get too hot. So right now I'm keeping them in the house. I brought them out here now to clean out their pen, put fresh sand in. So we're going to keep them in the house for like a week or so. But after that, we're going to take them to the brooder box. So let's go look at that. There's our brooder box. Not sure how old it is, but I know when I was little, my mom and dad had an incubator, and we used to get the chicken eggs, and I would hatch them out and put the baby chicks in here and raise them until they were ready to go out. So it does have a tray that goes on each side. I'm not going to use that. What you would do is have this on the outside, and it would go in these little slots. I guess it's for bigger chicks to put their head in there and maybe eat the feed, but I'm not going to use that. I got it zip tied shut. What I'm going to use is the feeder that I have in the box with the water. So the way this works is, on one, you got these interlocking tops here, and on one side you have where the chicks can come out here and walk around. Everything's got the wire floor. And on the other side it has like the corkscrew top. And this is where the light bulb is. And this comes on and it will heat up in there. This bar heats up too, so that all the heat is not just where the light bulb is, so the chicks can come over here and get heat too. So that way they're not all right up in the light bulb. So this will heat up, and if it gets too hot, they can come out from under the curtain and go right back out to the area out here. Has a wire floor on it, so the droppings and stuff can fall right through. Then it has a little slide here to slide this out, and you can empty that. Like I said, I'm not sure how old it is. Leave a comment down below if you have one like this. I know it's pretty old, and I think it's a good design, and it's been working all these years. So we're going to leave the chicks in here until they get a pretty good size, but once they get big enough, we're going to move them to the outside pen. So I want to show you what that is. This is our chicken tractor, and if you don't know what a chicken tractor is, it's basically a mobile chicken house. It's kind of like moving the cows from one pasture to the next. You get your chickens in here, and once they get in here and eat all this down, you can pull it to another section and let them eat that. There's really like 100 different ways you can build one of these. I don't guess any of them are really wrong. So when I was designing this one, I kind of just went on how I thought would work the best. I wanted to build it heavy duty for sure. I didn't want anything flipping them over. A lot of times you can build them out of PVC pipe, or you can build them out of a frame and put a hog panel over it with a tarp, kind of like a covered wagon. Some people build a frame kind of like this and just have metal across the whole top. I mean, there's just 100 different ways you can build one of these. So I would just say, get your own design of what you think will work the best and build it how you want it. So I built the frame out of 2x6s. It's pretty heavy. Braced it in here. I designed it that way so that it's really heavy, so it won't be flipped over or anything by any animals, and it will be hooked to the four-wheeler and drugged to the next place that I want. That's kind of how I designed it. I wanted it to be heavy duty, especially when you're going to have so many chickens out here just out in the open where things can see them, and you definitely want something that they're not going to be able to get into. So when I first started building it, I was going to use chicken wire, but I decided to go with the heavier wire. That way I don't have to worry about anything coming in here and pulling on it and getting through the wire. The chicken house part, I have 2 rods in here that go through for the roosting, and the floor that is in the chicken house part is with rabbit wire, that smaller square wire. So at night and stuff, or while they're roosting, a lot of times they'll use the bathroom, and this way it will just fall straight through instead of having a wooden floor where it would build up on that. This will fall straight through. Got the tin roof on top at an angle to let it run down. I'm also going to paint this. I just haven't got the paint yet. And I'm also going to take a rod and put up here and go all the way down and put a tarp over it, kind of like a tent, to keep the chickens cooler during the summer.